Hey there, it's Quinn with PTSD While Black, just doing a little bit of a check-in. I'm gonna go ahead and put my bonnet on because, yeah, it's cold in here today. So, um, yeah, checking in on Lent, which I've never celebrated or honored or, I don't know, revered it, but the past few years around, well, all my life around the equinox, um, I tend to get really close to just receiving messages or awareness and stuff like that. Or, like I explained to my husband, it's kind of like being a flower that goes into bloom. I bloom in the spring, psychically, I guess. Um, or my heart blooms in the spring. I don't know. Um, but the message that I got tonight during meditation is like hilarious because there was just like so many things that were coming to me. And the spring holidays in multiple religions, Judaism and Islam, I guess in Christianity, I feel like some kind of connection to it, and I have no idea what the hell it is, right? Um, but in today's meditation, I was really channeling what do I do about um, vulnerability. I started crying in the shower um, tonight when I was really looking at how this year of dealing with harassment has kind of um, interrupted my ability to be fully vulnerable. I tend to be somebody who's, if I gotta cry, I gotta cry. If I gotta laugh, I gotta laugh. I'm screaming, I'm screaming. It's okay to just be exactly who I am with whatever's going on within me. But I've been noticing I've been silencing it because I've had situations where my phone um, definitely was hacked, and I had evidence of people listening into conversations. So I started to really silence myself, and it was really just not. I wasn't having my full connection to all that is, I think, because of not feeling safe in my environment to be 100% me. So there's that. And a lot of my exercises that I do, I like even have trouble with going to therapy. There's something wrong with lately with my camera that I cannot connect in with my therapist on camera. So we just had to connect over the phone. Um, so yeah, so I'm going in person from now on. But anyhow, the messages with Lent. Okay, so I've never participated or honored Lent, and it's this 40 days of going without or fasting or something as Jesus did during her experience before her ministry. Yeah, by the way, pronouns for um, deity, I just switch them all around. I'm not a Christian, so I'm a pagan technically, so I'm culturally appropriating Lent this year. Um, and it's like, what would it be that I would go without so that I can have a closer relationship to the divine? What would I go without? And I realized in this last year, I've spent a lot of time explaining myself. Um, there's a difference between stating what's my experience, but then explaining and repeating what my experience is. And so that's something that I want to give up. And that depends on how, my brain is functioning, and just to do that in the best way I possibly can. But to stop explaining myself that what I say is what I say and it is what it is and it doesn't need more detail. But to also stop poking bears. My husband's like, for 40 days, can you not poke bears? And I'm just like, you are so hilarious because I touch hot stoves, I poke bears, I put my head in the lion's mouth. I'm that idiot. Um, so we'll see how that looks. Got to get some clear definition on poking bears, but like overtly poking. You hit me, I hit you back, though. Is that fair? Huh?
I wasn't listening.
If you hit me, I hit you back. Does that count as poking a bear?
Depends what you perceive as being hit.
Like you attack my phone, attack my computer, and so I release some truth. Releasing truth.
That's poking bears.
Releasing truth is poking bears?
Whatever.
Well, you issued the
Poking
challenge.
bears is doing anything that would cause other people to come after you.
Oh my God! Okay, do you hear what he just said? Poking bears is doing anything that will cause other people to come after you. First of all, I woke up black.
You gotta be white, stop being black.
I know, right? Right? Okay, I gotta order some wigs, and put on some white makeup, and then we'll fix that. Right. And also, I'm differently able.
Okay.
And I'm a woman.
Okay. Doing anything intentionally to cause other people to come after you.
Well, I'm not causing and doing it intentionally to cause them to come after me, though.
Okay. Well, what are you doing when you're releasing information?
I'm selling my truth and protecting myself.
Okay.
That's how I feel that is.
Okay.
Now, I would say poking bears. This is good to have this conversation right here, right now with all y'all. Who's not watching? Nobody's going to see this. Except for when I say that we should take over the government by making everyone adopt a cat. Because the cat sits on your lap, you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything. There you go, the end. So, okay. Poking bears for me is I know that somebody is vulnerable about a certain issue and that I make fun of, attack, or react to that particular issue.
Okay.
So that means no tarot readings. Well, intentionally. No, intentionally. Like I can see that somebody's hot-headed and responding to that person being hot-headed. Or somebody has relationship issues and making fun of someone having relationship issues. That would be an example of it. Poking a bear, in my opinion. But if you come for me, make statements about me, or if someone is, like my experience with the gang stalking, it's kind of cool just to have this conversation, fuck y'all. My experience with the gang stalking is like the forced videos on TikTok, forced messages of, oh, she's a cheater. Or, yeah, we'll just use she's a cheater as the first example, which I have not. So then if I come on and say, I have not cheated, but I know you got a wife, or I know you got a husband, and he don't know what you're doing, kind of thing, then that to me would be poking the bear, in a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And ultimately, this was your Lent thing, so you get to define what it means to you.
Oh, of course. I'm just like, I do want to look at what is because I get a high almost out of getting right back going, you know what, you went low, I'm going to go lower, kind of thing, which actually is, because I've taken the high road way too much. I've gone high, and they just go lower, and they continue to go low, and I continue to be attacked, and I continue to deal with the situation. So I just don't go. That's what I would like to do. Yeah, we'll see. So anyway, for Lent, I'm giving up poking bears and explaining myself. And what is so fucking hilarious, though, my ancestor card today was to speak up. Motherfucker. So I'm going to read that. My message from the ancestors today is to speak up. Speak up, speak out, speak on it. You have a right to be heard. Oh, let me read this little part. Mama Kumba Bang protects the mouth of the Senegal River. When making an offering to her, you must not speak to anyone else coming or going. Sing for her, chant for her, call to her, give Goddess Kumba your voice, and she'll be happy. You are betraying yourself by not speaking up. You didn't see it. Your words have power. Own your voice. As the old saying goes, stand up for something or fall for anything. Being neutral is not an option. Again, he didn't hear that. When you stand firmly in your truth, you have thoughts, opinions, beliefs, and convictions. What do you stand for? Tell somebody today. I reclaim my voice, I speak out, and I speak up. So my ancestors want me to speak up, but I need to do it in a way that's not poking bears, which is reclaiming my truth, reclaiming my identity. I don't think that has to be the focus, but I think it's a guidance. As long as I'm speaking what is my truth, what is my reality. So like the lie that was created that I'm a prostitute, that is freaking hilarious. Pay me. That's freaking hilarious. I couldn't even stand on a corner because of my back injury, y'all. Let alone actually perform. So I don't know, you pay me to look at me. Is that cool? You okay with that? That I'm a prostitute, that I've cheated on my husband, that I well, yeah, cheating is defined by the couple. Emotionally, yes, because of connecting with this individual, that I can definitely take that. But physically, no, I've never met the person face to face or done anything with anybody other than my husband for the last 12, almost 13 years. But so with all these things that are being said is that I can speak what is my truth. And then once I've said it, right? So one thing that I can definitely do too is I can preface things saying I am speaking specifically to some forced videos that were sent to me today, if I feel like I need to. Because it does look like, oh, she's arguing with herself, but I'm not. What you don't know as survivors of gang stalking is it's kind of like street theater, but it's electronic street theater, basically, of, oh, these people are talking about this, and oh, these people are talking about that. And it's like, whatever, but yeah. Anyway, it's not that important. Channeled message that I got today was about being vulnerable. How I have not been allowing myself to be vulnerable, to be really in touch with who I am. And what I realize is that the individuals who are initiating this stuff are really angry with me because they're not able to allow themselves to be that vulnerable. And it makes people feel uncomfortable when I can go there. I've just dealt with that in my life a lot of times, is that people are like, how can you swim this deep in your emotions? And I'm like, I've been living in them. So there's that. And I think for this next 40 days is allowing myself to be vulnerable and naked before God. That was another card that I pulled earlier today, was learning to be naked, be transparent, be authentically who I am. I can't be anybody else, and I'm not going to. It's not going to happen. And I think one of the things that I've seen myself do in this process of dealing with the stalking has been taking on the views, the images, and the expectations that those who've initiated the stalking have had about me. And then thinking, oh, I must not be good enough. I must not be worthwhile. I must not be XYZ. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's their shit. That's not mine. That's not mine. Why am I even taking this on? So when this card was saying, with speaking up, speaking out, I really feel that that is for me to be my authentic and honest self as a coming back to centering with the divine, with God, all that is, yada, 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 whichever term you want to use for it. Um, there's so many things that were coming at me that I needed to record, and I took a photo of one of the things I was writing for the offering was also about community, having authentic community, letting go of my dishonesty about the type of community that I want to have. Big part of the issue. As I told dude up front, I want to have vulnerable, authentic relationships with honest and trustworthy people. That's what I want in my life. And so anything that is not in those standards, it don't work for me. And so I do have this recommitment back to what kind of community am I keeping? And what's my responsibility with community? Oh, this video is so long. My women's group meeting today, a woman talked about how she has this uncanny power to attract every man in a 50-mile radius who has a shovel who's ready to kill her. So what is it about you that is attracting these types of people? And how can you and I love ourselves so authentically, love our authentic selves so honestly and openly that we're not available for these people who would abuse us? And in my second women's group today, we're really talking about being conditioned to not have safety in our lives as women, being groomed and conditioned to not have safety in our lives. To not even have a sense of personal safety. And that's what I really think with me as a Black woman growing up in the South, being conditioned to not have a sense of safety, that I'm supposed to make other people comfortable. And oh, that's the vulnerability piece. I'm gonna have to make a second video, man. Because I'm so busy making everybody else comfortable that I'm denying what my own reality is, what my own needs are. And that's denying the divine. And I think the challenge for me with this whole gang stalking situation is I have attracted some people who needed to get their worth from me denying my needs, denying who I am and trying to come back as a whole person. Because perhaps they have submitted into or have purchased or bought into, that's the word I want, that they have bought into the societal expectation that Black women don't have any needs or feelings and don't have any humanity. And who the fuck am I to believe that shit? Right? Who am I to believe that shit? I'm already loved. I am already valued by the Most High. So I have needs. They are valid, and I have a responsibility to getting them met. And to do that with safe and loving community that understands that I have these needs and that I'm not for everyone. So I'd love to come back to me. Come back to the more healed version of myself before submitting to this nonsense. Yeah. Oh, 3 minutes till 11. It's time to go. See, I did this as a live video this time because I didn't have to wait for it to upload. So I can actually get the smooches on. All right. He's like, she's going to poke up. See, even me saying getting my smooches on is poking bears.
If you were doing it intentionally to rile people up.
Okay. Am I? You should get your smooches on too.
Everybody gets them.
Everybody gets some smooches. All right. Okay, so if I'm doing it intentionally to route, but here's the thing though. Here's the thing. I'm not intentionally doing stuff, but there's one person who takes it as if I'm intentionally doing stuff. Mm-hmm. that's the challenge, is that I try to take on her energy.
Mm.
Yeah, God help me. Fucking help me. Okay. Yeah, I am gonna get people. Okay, Lent, no poking bears, but I am gonna go get my smooches on. I'm gonna get my warm, cuddly wuddlies and my snuggly wuggles right now. And I would just offer for everyone who loves themselves that you go get your cuddly wuddlies, your snuggly wugglies, and your smoochy woochies. Go get them for yourself. And if there ain't nobody else, mwah, kiss yourself because you're beautiful. Gotta kiss myself. I'm so pretty. All right. Till next time, y'all. Go to bed. I'll see you later.